Bismillahi Rahmani Rahim. My dear students of honors, grateful how you folks are doing. In my today's class, I will recite the poem Wild Nights, Wild Nights, written by Emily Dickinson. And in this lovely poem, Wild Nights, we get a demonstration of Dickinson's hope to come close to a lover. And let me tell you that later I will give you a summary of this wonderful poem, and I will also analyze the poem critically. And let me begin by reciting the poem Wild Nights, Wild Nights, Wild Nights, Wild Nights, where I wish thee. Wild nights should be our luxury. Futile the winds to a heart in port, done with the compass, done with the chart, rowing in Eden, the sea, might I but moor tonight in thee. And now I will tell you the summary of this wonderful poem. In this poem, Dickinson expresses her desire to be united with her beloved. In the first stanza, the writer repeats the term wild nights 3 times to refer to the night state as wild, which becomes an emotional night while spending time with her beloved. The term wild nights describes both passion of love making and wild stormy weather at sea. In the second stanza, the poet says that the winds don't matter to the lovers who are in port because they are together. Since the lover and the beloved are together, they can throw away the compasses and chairs. Speaking otherwise, the lover and beloved is free to do what they like. In the final stanza, the poet imagines rowing through a sea in Eden or paradise to be with the beloved. She wants to be moored, in other words, to reach the shore where the lover and the beloved get together. The last 2 lines refer to a sexual longing for unity with the beloved. And let me tell you the critical analysis of this wonderful poem. In Wild Nights, Dickinson expresses passionate longing for a loving physical intimacy with the specific person she is addressing. The scene is presented metaphorically, and its water images remind us of details in I started early, took my dog, and there came a day at summer's full. In this poem, she desires a fulfillment of her hopes. Here, the first stanza anticipates nights to be spent with the beloved. Both wildness and luxury are part of a shared overflowing passion. In the second stanza, these nights become a reality, and the concentrated imagery shows that The wildness stands both for passion and for the threat to it from the socially forbidding world. She imagines herself at the same time at sea with love and in a protective harbor, and no longer does she need to traverse or journey the sea of separation and prohibition. Sea and port paradoxically seem to merge or unite. In the final stanza, this merging is suggested by Rowing in Eden, where the combination of sea and port corresponds to the physical reality of harbors, except for their exclusion of storms, and where Eden implies the attainment or fulfillment of paradise in this world rather than after death. At this point, the sea as a place for mooring represents the beloved. The last line acknowledges again that Dickinson is describing a fantasy, not a reality, but in it there is a sigh of relief assisted by the rhyme that echoes back to the first stanza rather than a cry of desperation. The speaker as a mooring ship suggests a woman nestling against the body of a man and into his life. It is also a fitting symbol for the end of a quest. The suggestions of masculinity in this poem's speaker may reveal in Dickinson an urge to be active in creating a situation that she usually anticipates more passively. And my dear students, Wild Nights is a very wonderful poem consisting of only 12 small lines, and the words are very lucid and easy to fathom the meaning of this wonderful poem. And if you go through this poem word for word, line by line, you will understand this poem very well. And this is a lovely, very lovely poem which expresses the writer's longing for a closer association with her beloved. And with these few words, I would like to wrap up my discussion for today. Thank you very much, my dear students, for listening to my lecture.